What's up, good people? What's up? What's up? So, today I want to talk about depression. Because right now I'm depressed. I'm depressed for a few reasons, which I really don't want to. I can get into it, but it really don't matter about why I'm depressed. Because that's the problem. People like me try to figure out the solution to it. So, that's what I want to kind of try to flesh out in this particular video. So, depression. Is it real? Is it fake? What can you do about it? What's not a good thing to do about it? What's some possible options to do about it? That's what I kind of want to try to get into. So, let's get right into it. So, right now I'm depressed. Right now, the reason why I'm depressed, I'm going to give you 3 reasons. And this is 3 out of 300, okay? Because I'm sure there's a whole bunch of reasons to whine and complain that I can whine so much that I need 3 buckets of cheese to go with all the whining that I could do, but it's really not going to help anything. So, what's the 3 reasons why I'm depressed right now? The first reason I'm depressed is because I lost my job. But I really didn't like my job anyway, so right now I don't know if it's really a good thing or a bad thing. Not only did I lose my job, but my car also broke down. So that's number 2. And then I'm having some challenges as far as relationships with my children. And I don't think I need to pretty much go any farther than that. Okay, so I'm depressed for all these reasons, and I'm trying to figure out just what to do about it. Fair enough, right? So the first thing I want to do is talk about the Bible a little bit. Some people say that the Bible's real. Some people say the Bible's fake. I don't really care about all that because whether you believe it's real or it's fake or is of not a whole lot of use, we can pretty much come to a consensus that there is some truth in it. Just like it's truth in a movie or a TV show or a poem, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the book of Genesis, and we don't really have to go into it, but the story that I want to talk about is Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and in particular Adam, and how I feel like that one of the things that's not talked about often, or I don't think I've ever probably heard talked about in like a sermon or a book, was that one of the reasons that God created a helpmeet for Adam in particular is because he was depressed. And some people might say, well, how do you know he was depressed? Maybe he was just feeling down. Maybe that's the case. But all I know is that whatever condition that Adam had, that God felt like he needed to do something about it. And so, matter of fact, I think we do need to open up the book and get into it. So, we're going to go into the book of Genesis, and we're going to go to, I think it's either in chapter 1 or chapter 2. All right. And so we're going to go to verse 5, verse 18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. Verse 19 says, and out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all the cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. I have to stop right there. So we can extrapolate in particular from verse number 20, how it says, and Adam gave names to all the cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. And then it goes on to say, but for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. So, which meaning that there was something lacking. And, you know, a lot of times when, in particular, when we talk about something lacking, meaning something is not complete, something is not whole. And in a lot of ways, that can be the main reason why a person can be depressed. I'm not saying that correlation is directly leads to causation 100% of the time, but it could very well be the cause. I'm not saying that just because you lose a job or a loved one or break your leg or not win a contest that's going to cause depression, but it could very well kind of put you on track to being in a less optimal person. And so in my particular case, you know, a whole lot of kind of bad breaks at the same time, and then finally getting that, you know, that one little thing, maybe that one little thing in particular might not have, you know, knocked me off my feet, but so many, what they call it, death by 1,000 cuts, bam, bam, bam. I mean, I didn't got so many hits in what seems like a very short interval time period that I just looked up and was like, you know, but you know, God is good, and you know, I'm still breathing, and I want to kind of flesh this little message out that I took from what I'm going through right now. And one of the things that you can kind of do about depression, because, you know, we all got problems. And, you know, if you're a person like me, I tend to focus on the solution rather than the problems, because that's something that's within my hands and I can do something about it. And I feel like that if you have the tools to do a thing, then you can be more equipped to handle those things on your own. So, in the story in Adam and Eve, and you know, Adam kind of, you know, being of a lower spirit, you know, it talks about that he's seen all the other animals and how they had companionship, and he didn't have no companionship. But the crazy part about it is, even though it says that in verse 19, let me look there. Now, in verse 20, he talks about it at the end of verse 20. It had already preluded to what he was going to do back in verse 18. And the Lord God said it is not good that man should be alone, but I will make a help me for him. So the crazy thing about it is sometimes in life, God knows, and that's crazy. I just thought about that just now. Man, that's revelation. God, well, listen to this. First of all, it's just, it's kind of like on a different level, but is it crazy? Because you do know that God, he's in the business of like working miracles and doing the impossible and making ways out of no ways, right? Like his specialty. That's his specialty. He's in the fixing business. He's in the healing business. And so, making a way out of no way is basically just like a typical Tuesday for God. And in a lot of instances, you run into this problem and you looking up and from your perspective, you get all the walls closing in on you. The ceiling's falling. There's an earthquake going on. And then you hear the sirens going off. The tornado, they'll be here in like 30 seconds. You don't even got no way. You don't even got time to get to the shelter. But what's interesting, how God works, is that by the time that the problem got to you, he's already solved it. Meaning that whenever you come to the realization that you have a particular problem or an issue going on, he's already got a solution for you, okay? And that gets into, I don't want to really get into that right now. That's a whole nother video, getting into the fate and destiny and all that. But I'm just going to say this. There's a lot of instances, and this don't have nothing to do with the Bible, but it can be about the Bible. But there's a whole lot of instances of stories like Joseph, right? When his brothers got mad at him, they was a little jealous, and they threw him in a ditch. And, if they wouldn't have threw him in a ditch, he wouldn't have got sold. And if he wouldn't have got sold, he wouldn't have gotten the presence of the king. If he wouldn't have gotten the presence of the king and thrown in jail, he wouldn't have gotten the ear of the guard or whatever, and the guard wouldn't have went back and told the king how good this guy was and interpreting dreams. And it's kind of like a continuation of a chain of events that just happened so well, and all the stars seem to align. Well, that's kind of how it works, and I'm sure that I don't think I'm the only one. I'm sure that there's all kind of instances of things that happen, maybe not in such a direct way. It can be, indirect, but I've seen it in my life from personal evidence. I know it might be anecdotal for you, but I can pretty much take you to any place in time or time period and kind of give you an example how a lot of times what people thought as insignificant or what people thought was a setback was nothing more than a setup for even a greater comeback. And I know that probably sounded corny and cliche and a little cringe, but what I'm saying is that right now in my life, I don't have no job and I'm depressed and I can't go to my favorite restaurant and get a particular meal that I like to get that'll make me feel a little bit better because I don't have any money. And because I don't have any money in my pocket, I don't even really feel comfortable with going out and trying to find a young lady to take, not even to dinner, to the park, to anywhere, any type of movie or thing to do, because I am not whole. And the thing is, I'm not saying that a woman's going to make me whole. I'm not saying that a job's going to make me whole. But what I'm saying is that from where I am sitting right here now, talking to you, and whatever is going to be the outcome of the message that I'm telling you right now, it hasn't even happened yet. So this is going to be great, because what's it right now? It's the end of June, right? I think we got one more week left in June, and I still don't know what's going to happen as far as how my life's going to go. I know that I got fired from my job. I don't think it was right. I don't think that. I feel that. I feel like that I was dead wrong. And whether I was dead wrong or right, we're gonna take it in front of the council and see what happens. Let's just put it like this, because I wanna tell this story. I think it's important. I think that there's something that some people can get out of this. So I had a job. I kind of liked it a little bit. It was in the sales, and sales is a job I've never had before, because I didn't think that I would be a good salesman. I don't really smile a whole lot. I don't think that, and this is just me, it's just my personal opinion. I don't think, in my opinion, I'm the most personable guy. I don't think that I have enough suits, and I just don't think I'm greasy enough to be a good salesman. And even just thinking that all salesmen is greasy shows how antithetical I am to the job as being a salesman. But because I needed a job and I needed money, I felt like giving it a try. And one of the things about this job is that the job, I don't know if this was a good thing or a bad thing, but it was 100% commission based, and you don't get paid unless you get a customer. And even though I didn't think that, in the back of my mind, I didn't think that it was the best strategy, I had to give it a shot, right? I'm not a quitter. And even and I'm glad that I didn't quit, I actually got fired. And the crazy part about it is, I don't want to get into it, because, like I said, it's still in the, I don't know what you call it, the courts or whatever. We still going through litigation. But to make a long story short is, they had to let me go because I didn't show up to work. But the only reason that I didn't show up to work, because they wasn't paying me. Who's gonna keep showing up to work for 3 months straight, and the company doesn't want to pay you? And every Friday comes up and you're supposed to get paid, they don't pay you, and they just give you another excuse. So the first couple of times you're gonna be like, okay, these are good guys. They're not trying to deceive me. They are a legitimate company. I don't see why they have a reason to lie, so you're just going to keep going along with it. But eventually, at some point, the buck is going to stop. And as far as the buck stopping for me, it was that not just one car that I had bought. I had actually bought another car from some reserves that I had to get another car just so I could continue to work this job. Kind of like invested in myself. And this job too was not only invested in the job, but it was in myself. And I felt like that, it was worth making the sacrifice for. In order to do this, I had to sell some things that I didn't want to sell, some things that I had for a while that was very valuable to me, that I didn't want to sell. But I sold it because I sold it in the name of sacrifice, okay? I understand the importance of sacrifice. Sometimes sacrifice is important in life. I'm a chess player, and I understand how sometimes sacrificing in a big way can be to your advantage in a big way. So, it is what it is. I sold what I sold. I can't get it back. I don't have any regrets because I feel like that something good is going to come out of this. Even though it hasn't happened yet, we still in that life lesson. So, I got off track a little bit. So, I'm depressed. They don't want to give me my money. And, I'm trying to figure out what to do. So, and the thing is, a lot of times in life, you don't even know what to do. Because, as far as me being depressed, there's probably plenty of people that's depressed. It don't stop them from getting up every day and going to work. They still have to get up and go to work and keep a roof over their head, right? I get it. And so, even with me being depressed, like I said, this has been going on for like 3 months. I still was going to work. But at a certain point, my car is breaking down. Kind of, I'm not feeling as good because I'm not eating as well. You can't eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day. And ramen noodles every day. At a certain point, something's got to give. And so all these things coming together kind of really caused a very rough patch in my life. And the rough patch, I'm kind of still going through it right now. But, like I said, in the Bible, I used Adam, for example, him going through his depression, and God already having the solution before he even revealed it to Adam. And I'm pretty sure that God, he's already got a solution for me, even before I even know it's solved. So, call it faith, call me stupid. I don't really care. But we're going to see how the cookie crumbles on this. And like I said, I really didn't like the job anyway. I was just, just trying it out. And maybe I can start doing this YouTube thing. Maybe I can start presenting, because I have some ideas for some different type of content that I want to start creating. Gotta hydrate, because where I'm at, there's a heat advisory. We've been up in the 90s. I don't know if I'm sure we got over 100. Whether we got over 100 or not on the temperature scale, it feels like 100. But anyway, most people know me as a content creator for creating Wadoku videos and being a Wadoku master and keeping the records of people with all the high scores. Guess what? I'm still going to do it, right? But I'm more than just a Wadoku master. I have other qualities and skills and passions, and I kind of want to present them and kind of talk about them. So for let's say 2 to 3 month time period, I want to kind of get into the different type of videos and content that you guys might like or you guys don't like, and kind of just see what works and go from there. So if you don't want to tune in to a particular type of video, that's fine. If you want to stay, that's fine. And I'm going to make sure that I title all my videos appropriately, whether it's going to be a Wadoku video, whether it's going to be just like a review video. I like to review items. I got this item right here. This is what is it? A cooler. It's a thermos. But the thing about it is, it's great. I like the size on it, and I'm not about to turn this into a review video right now, but it has some good qualities, some bad qualities that I want to talk about later. But I want to do some review videos. I've become pretty proficient at flying drones. I want to do drone videos, random videos. I want to do review videos. I want to do Bible truth videos. And I think those are going to be good. And I kind of touch the surface of that with this video right here. For example, my Bible Truths video, believe it or not, is not really for people that are religious or even believe in the Bible. You don't even have to believe in the Bible because that's not what it's about. What it is about is that whether or not you believe the Bible is 100% true or 0% truth is, there is some truth in there, just like it's truth in fairy tales, okay? The boy who cried wolf, or Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, or what's her name, Little Red Riding Hood, and going through the forest. There's little bitty breadcrumbs in pretty much any and everything. And what I want to kind of do is dive into the Bible and kind of discuss particular issues or content that is true or not. Let me give you an example. So, what I'm going through right now, and me being depressed and upset and mad and wanting to get some type of revenge for these people for firing me for not coming to work because I should just come to work and not get paid, right? And I'm so mad that I wanted to go like anybody else. I had thoughts of going to do bad things, right? Whatever bad things are. And one of the things it talks about in the Bible is that is that if a person makes you really, really mad, first of all, you shouldn't be going out being a vigilante and taking justice into your own hands. You should let God do the wrath. He's going to be better than you are. But it says that you can actually kill people with kindness, right? And it says that when you kill people with kindness, it'll be like throwing hot coals, heaping hot coals on their head. And I don't know what particular verse it is. I'm going to look it up. I don't got my tablet right now. I can't go to it. But that's I'm just paraphrasing the best I can right now. But basically, if you be kind to the people that has done you bad, it'll be like throwing hot coals on their head. And just imagine it. Just imagine, a person in front of you, and they in a chair, and you got them tied up and they can't move, and you just throwing hot coals on their head. And that's kind of like torture, Just imagine somebody's got you tied up and they throwing hot coals on your head, and you just sit there. You know what I mean? That's got to be pretty painful. And so just little things like that, I want to kind of get into that. If you think that's if you think it's a truth or you think it's not, whether or not you believe in the Bible or not, but just ideas, concepts like that, I kind of want to get into. So I've been talking long enough. Thanks for watching. Peace.